What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit, and um, as you guys can see, I'm there. We go, 15, and holy moly, I just missed out on another dollar per share. That's about $500. Crap. No, really. Wow. I ended up selling with a limit order at just due to pre-market highs at 65.99. Literally, maybe less than 2 minutes ago, uh, we were right at 66.33, and it just pushed up to 67.26. Looking at /NG, you can definitely see how overextended it is. And it's on its way to, potentially make the same highs at around $3 and stuff like that for natural gas. Looking at overall, what's it called? You guys itself and how it's on its way to hit that resistance right around $68. Let's just make sure that we take that into consideration for a potential sell off and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this right on over here. Um, and I can't complain with what it is that I'm up and stuff like that. But $1,500 is what I'm up on the day. This is not actually what I made like profit on my overall position. And the reason that I say that is I'm gonna have to do the math because I was down yesterday $145 and then it recovered. So I think this is like $145 more than I actually made profit. If that makes any sense. So there we go. And look, it continues to make higher highs, and it's not stopping. I'm trying to wait for a pullback close to the EMA indicator, and it does not stop. So what I'm going to do is with this one, this is actually a perfect example of how to test out something. What's it called? When it doesn't pull back the way that we expect it to. And there we go. There's my limit order to sell at 65.99. And if we break, current highs, I'm gonna set my alert right here, and then I can have my limit order to buy. So it's gonna be at I'm gonna do 28 to see if it actually breaks. So 67.28. We can see the ask and the bid right here. The 500 shares, and there we go. Getting a nice little push up. Starting to volume isn't as great as it was right as the market opened, obviously, but this thing just really got going. It's literally right when I sold that um, that it had that shot up. Right, I was gonna sell. I mean, the reason that I sold first of all was just due to this pre-market resistance that we were seeing right around $66. It made sense on why it would potentially get rejected here. It started to push up, and I saw it push right above $66, like right away. And I saw it kind of consolidate right around like 66.10, 66.15, and then all of a sudden it got the two biggest candles and pushed above 66.50. My alert went off, and then it pushed above, $67 altogether. So now we're starting to consolidate. We're starting to flatline at around this kind of price point, around $67. I think we can expect a pullback and then a bounce, and that's kind of what I'm going to wait out for. No, no, no. I already sold on. So I'm not waiting to sell again. So I already sold. I ended up selling at 65.99. And there it goes. It's starting to pick up more momentum. You can see the MACD indicator starting to peak out a little bit. This one really has to do a little bit more with Yeah, because it's just getting and going. And um, so looking to enter before the natural gas report. And it's not even just that. Honestly, even though like the natural gas reports like have been in favor of like you guys and stuff like that, I still don't like to trade. When I still don't like to be holding one of them. Uh, when one of the natural gas reports come out, it's just the risk is still a little bit too high for me because if I'm wrong and for whatever the case may be, um, there might be a decent pullback and I might lose, a certain amount of profit that I've been able to build for myself. And it just comes down to risk management. I understand that um, the potential is very great, right, because of how much it can shoot up. But as of right now, it's just not something that um, you know, uh, that I find very attractive. What's going on, Rico? You sound like you haven't had a canned in a while. I had it 2 days ago. So, but yeah, uh, a lot of consolidation at this price point. It's looking like overall resistance right around here, right around this price point. There it goes. Looks like we're about to get a break above. Are we? There goes the MACD, right? MACD starting to curve back in a little bit, but again with a nice little shot of like the momentum that it's been doing. Like this was very like at least from my experience when it comes down to trading like UGAs and DGAs in a series of these ETFs. I'm not really used to trading them when they're very aggressively pushing up or down. So Philip, what's going on? Oh, and what's going on, my bud? So hope you're doing well. What's going on, Rico? $150 profit this morning. Boom, I like it. You have to Rico, if you have an Instagram, you have to do the money dance that you've seen us do on Instagram and send it to me and then tag me in it if you can. Appreciate that, Kevin. Thank you, thank you. What's going on, Roche? Man, this consolidation. There it goes. Crap. And yep, I didn't send it quick enough. So I'm gonna do it with half. Ah, let's see this. So I ended up going with, let me just explain what it is that I'm doing. Currently, my average position right now is at 67.60. So I literally bought pretty much at the peak. And you guys saw that I bought with a market order. It has to do with this thing continuing to break and make higher highs. Again, the overall resistance that I was able to identify was around $68, and it does have the potential for it to continue to make higher highs. As of right now, when it comes down to my overall position size, you guys saw that I was originally going to take a $500 position, a 500 share position, and as of right now, I cut that in half to 250. The reason why is, again, I was buying as it was pushing up. I didn't think that that was going to be, the best entry, obviously. And as you can see, that plays a pretty good role in, you know, understanding that if I'm not going to get in for the best entry, maybe I don't want to buy all the shares that I can for that specific ETF or stock itself. And the reason why is if it tends to pull back and it bounces on the EMA line and then it starts to recover or begins to recover, then I can get in for a better purchase price, which will then bring down my average, and then I can, as it continues to, recover and then make higher highs, then it would make that much more sense, right? So I'm going to set my alerts here. And just in case, just so I can, because it's moving very aggressively, we want to have our limit orders like ready to sell, right? And there it goes. We're going to have the 250 shares. So you guys can see the P&L on the day, right? This thing is just not stopping. Like, it almost makes me like not, I don't know. Like, I'm all about like the profit that it's making right now, but it's almost very aggressive that I kind of want to like get out of it. So I just don't feel comfortable with it, right? So I'm going to send the limit order. There's a little bit of a pullback. All right, let's see. So Ben, for when was my entry on Diaz? I bought it 2 days ago. I bought Diaz 2 days ago at an average of. I'm gonna have to follow up with that. I have a screenshot from what my average was. It was around the low $63 price point. So yeah, you can imagine. Like when it was at 63.80, I was up $350. So yeah, it's definitely losing its momentum. We can see the RSI starting to peak out a little bit more. All right, let's see. There it goes. What's going on, buddy? What's going on, Ben? Yeah, too much consolidation that's happening. I'm feeling uncomfortable. This is usually not even how I specifically trade. And right as I say that, I was about to cover profits, but no. Let's check this out. What I'm going to do is end up peaking out at around 67.74. It's pulling back a little bit right now. Also, look at the support that it's building at around 67.50. If it does break that support, that's not going to be the best sign for you guys, just as intraday, right? Just because it has a lot of momentum of that upward staircase. So it's really consolidating and trying to build that support right around 67.50. As you can see, it continues to try to hold above there, and it just broke below it. So it doesn't mean that it can't, right? Let's see, can we get a bounce? Wow, that bounce is way too aggressive. Yeah, so it's, all right. All right. There we go. Yeah. So the gas report today comes out 1 hour after the market opens. Um, so yeah, I mean that's not bad. And Zachary, that's a good point that you bring on. Like, what if you, because of the natural gas reports, and it usually plays in favor of something like you gas. What if you follow with a very tight stop loss, right? Um, for you guys and for the potential for it to like shoot up and be able to ride that margin. I I like that, but my experience with having a stop loss on something that is very aggressively moving up, if it has a huge sell off and your limit order is triggered, again it's a limit order, right? So it will automatically sell at market price when it gets triggered. And because it sells off so aggressively, I've had the experience where it does not get filled at the price point that you set, right? Because the momentum and the volume is so high. So it could get filled, 20, 30 cents lower depending on how aggressive it sells off. And I've explained that in the course, depending on the momentum and stuff like that. But 100%, that's a great point that you bring on, because that 100% can happen. Do you guys see this consolidation happening right here? It actually have been much smarter for me to have waited for the break above 650 to enter for my the second 250 shares before buying more. Because right now it did sell off. I thought it was a bounce, but again, it was a bounce with not making higher highs. So that's not very attractive. Of course, Zachary. Thank you again. What's going on, Mohammed? How are you doing today, bud? Yeah, now it's starting to hit somewhat of a resistance at 67.50. That's weird. Do you guys see this? Look at this level too. 67, it's struggling to break 67.50. Sweet. Oh, Muhammad, okay. Sounds good. I'll follow up in just a little bit once we're done with this live stream. Yeah, I don't like the setup that is going on. So, there we go. I wanted to get out. Um, First of all, this thing can definitely go up all the way up to $68. It can go up to 69. But what I wanted to explain in this specific video is that I did not feel comfortable with that position at all. I was doing it more of, and I realized that like right as I took the position, more to break over $1,600 profit, because I was at like 1590, and I just kept looking at the number. I kept looking at the number. I kept looking at the number, and my dollar value that I was investing was a little bit too high. And the easiest way that I can put it is if we look at this 180-day analysis, looking at the time and the price point of when it's normally at $68, it's very rare, right, for the time that it actually spends up here at $68, for you guys to actually hold, right? So with that understanding, I know that again this isn't the best deal, and I ended up buying at one point at 67.60. And although the money is great, and again I just added an additional pretty much $100 to whatever it is that I was making, and it's not showing any signs of a reversal, right? I still didn't break my rules or anything like that. It's still holding above the EMA line. It's still showing signs of an uptrend pattern, and it's still trading in between the middle and top view up like that. It's still stuck true to the day trade opportunity that I saw value in, but my dollar value was a little bit too high for the deal that I supposedly was buying into, and it was not a good deal. Easiest way to put it. It was not a good deal. I did not feel comfortable with my average position, and my purchase price, and it just wasn't worth the extra dollar. Like I'm already up a certain dollar amount that like why just to make again and just taking the opportunity cost into play, just to make another 0.5%, am I going to risk potentially profits that I've already made that can lose so much more? And putting it in that perspective, it just doesn't make sense to me, right? So although the profit is there and although it's still showing signs of an uptrend pattern, and as you guys can see right now, it's definitely pushing up, and I'm missing out on potential profit, I now feel comfortable and I don't feel like on edge about like so anxious about this specific stock or ETF, since I don't know that I'm getting the best deal anymore. Easiest way to put it. So let's go ahead, and I'm done when it comes down to trading this as of right now. If I end up wanting to take a position later, then we can check that out. But let's go ahead and follow up with any stocks that you guys might see value in and kind of go from there. So DGAS obviously showing signs of a huge sell-off. Jana again consolidating right around 1410 to highs of around 1430. So there's this like margin that you would be able to day trade if you would see value in it. So I'm going to set my alert here to see if it ends up going below it again and kind of go from there. LABD has another big sell-off. What's going on, Austin? Wow, holy moly. 5% down on the day. Guys, this thing completely broke its pattern. And because of that, if you're going to try to day trade it, that's up to you. But it's completely breaking its pattern, and it's not trending. I would not consider swing trading this one whatsoever at all. And if you want to day trade it, again, something that I like to focus on for a day trade is if it's trading in between the middle and top view up, and it's not even doing that. It's just showing an aggressive downward pattern. So the inverse of LABD is LABU, which is showing more signs of an uptrend pattern. Does it have much more margin to cover? Maybe not, right? So if it doesn't, then simply don't trade it. Simply take a step back and go from there. You guys are calling out Gush. So based on my understanding, I was following up with this one at like 2 in the morning. And yeah, Gush /CL was selling off. But again, right as the market opens, this thing begins to recover. And that's great and all, but take this into consideration. It's going to have a resistance right around this SMA line, which will then no longer be in favor of Gush, but in Drip itself. And again, as a day trade, it doesn't mean that you have to swing trade any of these. Let's make sure we take that into consideration. TMUS as well. So for all those that are asking about TMUS, it broke its pattern. The consolidation that we were able to see from $56.20 to around $57, it broke that pattern. So we could try to set an alert for that when it breaks above back again $56, but until then, it's not relevant right now. CPE. So CPE is actively trending down, right? It is consolidating, but it's actively trending down. So it does make sense on why it might begin to start to trend up, but there is no confirmation for that. Yes, I like the RSI. Yes, I like the reversing MACD. It all makes sense. It just has not confirmed the uptrend. Easiest way to put it. So Bison is way overextended. Actually, Justin, who's my partner that you guys know for TechBot Solutions, it was swing trading BZUN because he really liked how consistent it's been showing signs of an uptrend pattern. This peak right now, where it's at right now, I would sell. It's not a good deal. It's when it pulls back, gets closer to the EMA line, that it makes for a much better buy as it's showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. As you can see, it rides this EMA line. So let's make sure that we take that into consideration. ENPH. So ENPH, same thing going on here. Way overextended. I would wait a little bit more for a pullback as it's actively trending up. I love the upward pattern, the upward momentum and everything that it's been showing, and it offers a pretty decent margin of profit because it's a lower cap stock in comparison to what we normally trade. So NTNX. What's going on, Josh? Hope you're having a good day. Perfect. So NTNX. Was this a good buy at $60? It was showing signs of an uptrend. Guys, Josh, why was this not a good buy? Why didn't you buy at $60? It was pointing up. The EMA line was pointing up. Why did you not buy at that price point? Like, why? At the price point of $60, why did you not buy? Or anyone? Why would someone not buy at $60, or why would it not be the best buy? The EMA line is pointing up. It's showing signs of an uptrend pattern. It continues to make higher highs. Why would not buy at $60? Too far from the SMA. Not a good deal. Bad deal. Too far from the EMA. All of it is correct. Bad deal. The biggest thing to view it as is it's a bad deal because sometimes it could be pretty far from the EMA line and it could still continue to actively trend up. But this one is so overextended, right? You can see with the RSI and you can see with how far away it is from the SMA indicator how overextended it is. You guys all know this, right? You guys all know this. It sold off, right? Sold off below the SMA line, which is completely fine. We don't care when it's getting rejected. We set our alerts for the reversal. And that's what just happened. That is what our friend Josh is calling out. It broke above the SMA, it broke above the EMA, and then the direction of the EMA line is going up. Do you see this resistance that it has right around $55? So I would set your alerts for that break above that. And if you choose to take a position prior to that, close to the EMA line, I would have it be a percentage of what your overall position would be for you to do an average up approach. That's the approach that I would take. I would add more to my position as it continues the uptrend and then sell most likely at around, whatever it is that you feel comfortable. $56, maybe $60, whatever it is that you feel most comfortable to then, exit at the proper price point, and then you did the proper average up approach when it comes down to that. You guys, with that decent sell-off, that is more of a break of pattern intraday, right? And that would have made sense on why I would have, covered profits at that price point. So I think I did a pretty good job on my exit. Yes, I could have gone out maybe a little bit better, but again, I didn't want to be greedy. Waiting for a sell-off, and I have all my alerts set up for you guys. JNUG, there we go. It bounced right kind of where we expected. I thought it was going to hit lows of 410, pushed up, and resistance right around 1430. So let's make sure that we understand that. Ticker symbol DAL. I didn't talk about this one, but do you see this upward staircase pattern that it's been showing? Look, it pushes up, sells off, consolidates. Pushes up, sells off, consolidates. Pushes up, sells off, consolidates. What's next? Usually, well, what do we need to happen? Break of resistance, right? Let's set those alerts for that push up. MACD is in its favor. RSI is in its favor, but it has not confirmed the uptrend. So that is why it's so important that to not take a position right now, because just because it's done it before doesn't mean that it has to do it again. But again, just preparing, like write this one down on your notes to follow up with it. Set the alerts, and if it breaks above 54.50, then follow up with it and see if it's something that you actually want to invest in. We have pretty good setups this morning, guys. KEM looks a little bit overextended, and it's at a previous resistance right around $20. You can see this consolidation for the past 2 days right around that price point. Ooh. Did you guys see that? Boom. So it just broke above the EMA line. That's the beauty of setting alerts, starting to show signs of a potential reversal, right? This is intraday. This doesn't mean that it's going to continue. Let's give it a couple minutes and see if we can even break above the middle VWAP. That's what's most important to me. And let's calculate the margin of profit. From middle VWAP to top VWAP, even to $27, 2.61%. That's what I find a little bit more realistic, right? And that makes sense. It could 100% get rejected by this this middle VWAP indicator. And I want to see it continue to pull back and bounce on this EMA line. So there we go. Let's look at the overall margin. And it has been aggressively selling off. How much has it covered already? 1.5% since we saw it. And again, don't think that it's just going to shoot straight up. Even if it breaks above the middle VWAP, be patient and watch. I'll do this one with you guys, or I'll do this one in general. You guys, please don't trade it. But what I want to show you is that usually when it pushes up above the middle VWAP, especially such a critical price point such as that, it pushes up, it pulls back, and it consolidates at the middle VWAP for a little bit, and you have actual time to react. You don't just have to buy in right away. It looks like you guys try to consolidate once again. Not too sure how well that's going to do. It might do well. It might consolidate that hit highs of $68. I thought it would get closer to the middle VWAP. USLV. USLV definitely showing signs of an uptrend. There it goes, upward staircase pattern. We talked about this one yesterday, and one of the top stocks to look out for, the break above $10, right? And there it goes. Pre-market highs around 1010. The volume is just a little low for me as of right now. And there's the rejection. It's usually 20 minutes if that's what you're talking about, Aaron. What you can do is you can call TD Ameritrade if you see any delay on your charts. You can simply call TD Ameritrade and have them help you out with that. $230 on you guys this morning. Thanks, LPP. Bob, it's all your hard work. LABD looks like it's getting rejected. That is correct, and that is why it's so important to wait for confirmation. It's still trying, and again, this is what we want to see. We want to see a pullback and for it to hold above this EMA line. So let's see where it goes. Ticker symbol MB. Must be nice. Very low volume. Definitely makes sense though. So I have my alert set at 40. So it's been showing signs of an uptrend pattern, even on this pullback that it had yesterday, and then the bounce that it had today. It makes a lot of sense. I would like to wait for higher highs. But 100% great call out. Oh man. Guys, I love sneezing. I thought my eye infection was getting better. I don't think it is. Checking it today. Thank you. Thank you guys for saying bless you. So DS isn't actively trending up anymore, so I'm going to remove that. JDST, dang it, why did I not see? No, 1% isn't much. CRSP, huge sell-off, showing signs of that recovery, right? I don't necessarily like that, but happy to hear that some of you are able to make money off of that. I think it's way over extended, especially intraday, and these patterns are a little bit too aggressive right now. There it goes. This is actually what we want to see, this pullback confirmation. DAL. Holy moly. What news came out? Look at that. Look at that pop. It was actively trending up. No question about that. Pushing up, and it's on its way to make higher highs. Not even 1% yet. Put a lemon on your eye, not a joke. I'm sorry, Raul. That's not something that I find to be very pleasing. I'm sure it kills bacteria and stuff like that with all the acid. It's gonna make me scream too, so I'm good. Appreciate the offer though. Z for Zillow is showing signs of it being way overextended. Overall peak or resistance right around $60. I'm going to set my alert for when it gets closer to the SMA line. And remove this from my watch list. So USLV is showing signs more of an uptrend. Way too low volume. Oh. And again, with huge pushes up like this, it would make sense on why there would be a decent sized pullback, right? And this even happens like when even natural gas reports come out, it pushes up very aggressively, and then it tends to pull back almost just as quick. So usually what I do is when I see something push up that aggressively, I feel comfortable, covering profits and stuff like that. So let's see. Yeah, there has to be something going on with all. I'm looking at these different tickers for airlines, and they all have that sudden push. So it must have been some incentive towards airlines, maybe that tax break. So thank you again for the reminder on LABD. It's not even in my watch list. There it goes. Showing, and again, this is exactly what we wanted to see. A push up, a break below, consolidation, push up, making higher highs, push up, break below, and then consolidation, and then the pop is where I'm going to find it to be the most attractive. There we go. All right, guys. So this is. Dang, you got in at 26s. There we go. We just broke above the middle VWAP. Oh man. All right, let's try this out. I wanted to push up, I wanted to pull back, and I want to buy on that pullback. Danny says, yo, Ricky, I stopped by Cane's after work yesterday for the first time. I gotta say, I was not disappointed. I'm telling you guys, everyone that I've taken to Cane's, except for my ex-girlfriend, has absolutely loved Cane's. Just totally kidding. My ex-girlfriend's a complete sweetheart. She just didn't like greasy food, which is 100% okay. But as you can tell, it didn't work out because of that. Totally kidding. It's because I'm a dingleberry. But all right, let's see this push up. I'm pumped. Even if I don't end up taking a position on LABD, I wouldn't like even if for all those that are in. Look, this would be my plan. Top VWAP close to the exit, right? So the middle VWAP to the top VWAP offers about 2.7% margin of profit. I think that's great, and I want to be patient with this. So what I want to do is I wanted to push up, I wanted to pull back. I want this middle VWAP to be more pointing up, right? And as of right now, it's kind of consolidated, and if not, it's still kind of pointing down. So I want to be patient. I want it to really consolidate and do kind of what it did here, but now with the middle VWAP. So, push up, push up, push up. That's all great. Even if I miss out on this one, 100% that's okay. But I wanted to play out and feel comfortable with my position on LABD and make sure that we get in for a good buy. That's hilarious, Keith. Junie, you have never been to Cane's? Junie, I see you as a different person now. We need to send guys. I hope that you guys know that once we establish the TechBed headquarters, we're gonna have a huge Cane's what's it called, like catering order for all of you. For those that want to come on over. So for those that are asking, we're still in the progress. I just made an offer yesterday on one of the houses that we're looking at buying. And after I make that offer, and if it gets accepted, then we'll buy a warehouse within the surrounding areas. So that means that we're that much closer to get everything going. So hopefully our offer gets accepted. And yeah, there it goes. It's pushing up. It's doing a really good job. So is the HQ in Phoenix? It's not going to be in Phoenix. It's going to be closer to the Gilbert area. There we go. Look at that push up. And it's pushing up. And right now I might be getting FOMO, right? Like a lot of people would be getting FOMO. Like, oh my God, what's going on? Already, I've missed out on 1.7, 1.8%. What's going on, guys? Like this thing can shoot up all the way up here. 100%. Oh, there it goes. It's picking up. Again, I want to wait. Do you see that? How this middle view up is starting to curl back up a little bit more? And that's what I want to wait for. It could never even pull back. 100% completely miss out on this opportunity, but that's okay because I do not feel comfortable taking a position right now. And that's okay. There's so many stocks that are shooting up right now, 10, 20, 30, 100%, and I'm missing out on them. But again, I'm aware of this one and the potential that it has to offer, but I want it to play out the way that I want it to. Right now, we're going to be hitting a resistance. We might experience, there we go, the intersection between the EMA line and the middle VWAP. Ooh, ooh. Appreciate that. Thank you. Watch out for the eye infection when you punk. What's going on, brother? Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So waiting for the pullback. You guys on the pullback to the middle view up. Yep, I did get the alert that it just broke below $67. Again, no confirmation of a bounce. So let's set those alerts to see if it recovers. Natural gas will pour in 9 minutes, guys. 9 minutes. Jordan, thank you again for the reminder. That's all you. Again, we're going to wait for the sell-off. We're going to wait for the bounce, and then I'm going to wait for a break of resistance. So, yeah. I'm just going to have my limit order. So I'm going to buy, edit. Actually, I can do it. There's this thing that can make it a little bit quicker. So what you can do is wherever it is that you want to buy, you can go with your little cursor. You can right-click. There's that sell-off, just like we expected. So let's say I want to buy at like close to the EMA line. Let's say even around like 26.39. I'll right-click and I'll click buy, and my limit order will be exactly at that specific price point, which is pretty easy, right? If I want to buy 1,000 shares, then all I have to do now is just send it. And that's it. So, but obviously I'm not going to send it right now. I'm going to move this on over here. It doesn't look like it's going to pull back all the way down to the EMA line. I'm going to try to be patient, but it does not look back like it's going to pull back that aggressively. It looks like it pulled back a little bit. Do you guys see that? Right around 26.50, and it's starting to consolidate already. That's great. And it might not pull back to the middle view up. Again, that's just the general area of where I would like it to pull back. Doesn't mean that it has to actually do that. My limit order is at 26.39. I might not actually get filled. There it goes. It's selling off a little bit nicer. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cancel this. And I want to go in with 500 shares first. Again, 50%. I like that approach that I took. So it did pull back. And, all right. So it did pull back. It's consolidating. Is it going to break above $50? $26.50, I'm sorry. Not $50. What specifically should I order when I go to Cane's? Literally, it's chicken. So it's the amount of pieces of chicken that you can order. And that's about it. So, yeah. Okay. There we go. You guys broke below $67, as we could see. Right around that middle VWAP. Dang it! Trying to get filled with just, come on. No. Missed out. What the heck is that? Zaxby's? What the? Have you heard of that, Joel? Zaxby's?
Zaxby's? No.
Or, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Zaxbys. No, right? I thought it was just me since I never go out. There we go. Filled half of my position. So looking at this, all right, Riggy, well, you just got filled with 50% of your normal position. Where do you plan on getting filled in next when it breaks and makes higher highs? Ah. There we go. I don't want to look at the profits or anything like that just because I can get caught up on looking at that figure. Guys, 4 minutes until the natural gas report comes out. Please, if you don't feel comfortable holding or anything like that, cover profits. It's up to you. It's not a bad idea. Chick-fil-A over any other place. I do not agree with that. Yes, we are working on that. Mackenzie is working on it, which is one of our developers that we're partnered up with, or the developer that we're partnered up with, and doing a very, very good job with it. So it actually should be done soon, like really soon. And it's going to be, because we used to have it just for, like, it's integrated with Robinhood. We're going to wait out on that, and we're going to introduce a different idea, and it's going to be a mobile app as well. It's going to be like mobile friendly. And there's a series of new things and new concepts that we added to it that will, I think, be a little bit more effective and useful for our users, especially for those that are Learn Plan Profit. For those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, you guys are going to get a badge next to your names. So, yeah. Holy moly, that thing's selling off. Do you guys see this consolidation that's happening? Consolidation. Overall, again, the EMA line's still pointing up. I want to see if we can get a push above 2660 and start making higher highs. First day like it so far. What's going on, Philip? Currently not trading, finishing up school right now. Do you guys have any extra large shirts to ship out right now? We do for the Hustle Hard. Actually, no. I think we might have extra large for Hustle Hard and for the baseball tees, and then for the sweaters. For TechBet shirts, as of right now, we don't have any, but we're working on the website and restocking in multiple different colors as well. So, yeah. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. So Bud Pierce, the ticker that I just bought was LABD, and it's due to the reason of it breaking above the middle VWAP. The margin of profit that it has to offer was about 2.7% from bottom to top VWAP, which honestly I would be okay with more. 2% alone would be more than okay. And I plan to add more to my position as it breaks above this specific price point. All right, guys, 1 minute until the natural gas report comes out. All right. So be careful with all those that are trading it. Just be on edge. There it goes. Just came out. And there it goes. You guys literally just shot up. Congrats. How much is that? Oh! There we go. Guys, if I were you, I would sell. If I was in right now, especially at $69. Up to you guys on wherever it is that you guys plan on selling. But look at the previous resistance. $69, close to 70 is definitely an ideal exit point when it comes down to overall, how overextended something can be. Congrats to all those that were able to take their position on that. That's huge. Do I have FOMO? Just a little bit. It's okay though. Again, I would have not felt comfortable. It could have gone either way, right? Although, yes, we have identified a pretty successful and consistent pattern with the natural gas reports, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen all the time. And for me, if that would have happened and I'm in with $30,000 and I would have lost 2.7%, that's an instant, like almost $500 loss. And that it's just that risk isn't worth it for me. Does that make sense? Yeah. Woo! My goodness. Like it. You guys are killing it. Got in at 66.60. Made $840 profit in 3 minutes with you guys. $721 profit. Guys, I absolutely love it. Congratulations. Be consistent. Cover profits. No one goes broke by covering profits. Let's remember that. Made $2,000 in 1 minute. Well, that is a good day. That is a good day. Sweet. I'm happy to hear that, guys. Hope you guys that played out well for you. And yeah. I was in on you guys at 62.89. That's huge. That's really low. Oh, that's around. Yeah, that's good. I think if I'm not mistaken, my average entry was around like 63.11. For this specific for you guys when I was in originally. All right, guys. I really just wanted to stay live until the natural gas report came out, just so I could like watch it with you guys and all that good stuff. As of right now, I'm still doing my day trade on this specific ticker, and there's not much going on right now. I'm in with 50% of my position. I'm waiting for a break of resistance to add more to my position and then sell at the overall exit. So my overall average purchase price will be around $26.56 probably. And then I plan to sell right around $27, 1.65%. Again, nothing huge. You guys did and covered more than that in a matter of 1 minute. So 100% way more than that. Wow. Congratulations to those that absolutely killed it today. For those that are asking how did or what my view on X is, I think it's way overextended, and I think it makes sense on why this thing would sell off. Look at the previous resistance levels, and it tends to have pretty solid pullbacks. So I would just not oversell it, especially if it's overextended already on the day. Like, why overdo it? And majority of this margin that it built was all during pre-market hours, which is not something that a lot of us have access to. So let's just keep it consistent and focus on that quality. Time to buy Diaz. Kind of. I mean, that makes sense. It's not a bad idea just because of how overextended Diaz is, but you're also investing in something that's actively trending down. I've done it before where you buy almost at the very bottom and then you buy as it recovers because, you're still able, you're able to almost capitalize on 2% just on that dip buy, right? So how cool would it have been to maximize profits here, on you guys and then bought in the dip on DGAS and sold at the peak? But again, it's still trading in between the middle VWAP and bottom VWAP, and that's a downward trend. So that's why I would kind of be like antsy to invest in it. So watch for that MACD indicator for it to start curving back in, and maybe we can get a better indication for an overall reversal. Keep a tight stop on DGAS. Nice. So you're in LABD and it's trending down. I'm in LABD as a day trade. So remember, there we go. So I waited for the break above the middle VWAP and the EMA line, and that's why I chose to take a position. So that's why I'm in. Up 75, up 90. I'm going to miss out on my second entry 100%. Up 105. Oh, there we go. Will I get filled? Probably not. My name is Ricky. I day trade. How did everyone know you guys was going up? So Jason, can you answer this? Are you new to our Learn Plan Profit group or TechBot Solutions? The reason I asked that is because we talk about these. So that's a good question. And I've talked about it in the past 2 weeks. I've made it apparent to everyone, at least to the people that are part of TechBot Solutions. For those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, I want to say, guys, we've been following the natural gas reports for like the past 3 to 4 months, and we've followed this pattern that you guys is usually the one that shoots up during these natural gas reports. It doesn't mean that it has to, and that's why I talked about, hey, I personally still don't feel comfortable holding, but it just means that it has a pattern of pushing up when these natural gas reports are coming out, just because natural gas is so bullish right now. So Aaron is asking, hey Ricky, do you have any advice for those trading in the closed market and for those that have access to it? It's still sticking to the same thing. If you find a really good deal, then that's what it's all about. If you're just going to trade aftermarket just for the heck of it, I don't see much value in that. So I traded during extended hours to either cover profits or to get in for a great entry. But other than that, I don't force a trade. So it looks like I had my limit order a little bit too high, right? As you guys can tell, it ended up pulling back to lows of 26.61, and I had my limit order at 26.60. So that is my luck. EMA line still pointing up, still showing signs of an uptrend pattern. We might get some consolidation right here, right around 26.80. Do you guys see this consolidation for the support? So just watch out for that. Keep a close eye out for that. Nope, not getting filled. All right. But yeah, guys, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. I want to thank you, all those that were able to tune in live for this live stream. I hope that you guys found it helpful with not only explaining like my exit for my position on you guys and how I made a little bit over $1,600 on this specific trade, but also when it came down to maybe like my entry and what it was that I was looking for a confirmation on something like LABD. So I hope it all made sense. I tried to explain in detail, so I try to commentate as much as possible. If you guys have any tips or any suggestions on what I can do better during these live streams, feel free to direct message either Justin or I within the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat, as we would greatly appreciate that. Just please make sure that if you're going to give some tips, that it's not just something that we're already doing. So I'm all open to suggestions as long as it's effective, right? So thank you guys again for everything that is that you guys do. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Keep it simple. Let's focus on that quality. And again, one of the best positions that you can take is not taking one at all. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team. Ooh, we just hit highs of 26.80. All right, guys, let's make that money. Take it easy, team.